representation of every believer that died. By the way, they're actually living in us. Before they resurrect from that earth, as faith, virtue, and the ages, they must resurrect in this one. They can walk in this earth before they walk on this earth down there. We are focusing things wrongly. We imagine they must resurrect from that earth, but they must be seen first of all in my earth. When we say Andrew has a lot of faith, so Brother Kamonda, you have this, Brother Komora, Brother Kelman is a man of faith. You are simply saying that is an evidence that the believers of Paul, which their message was faith, have already taken shape and are walking in a small earth called Clement. But soon they will walk on the bigger earth. You know, that's the way I'm looking at it. So what I wanted to say right there, I'm sorry I'm taking all the 40 minutes. What I want to say there is this. Sister Hadis asked, what do you want? Then God gives her time even to think about what she wants. She asked Brother Branham, what do you think I should ask? Then Brother Branham says, do you want money? Can you imagine? There was a super economy sitting right in that house. Who was this man called super economy? Not supernatural. Who is the supernatural economy in this setting? The supernatural economy is Jehovah Jireh. Because that is the person that Brother Branham was talking about. He told Sister Hattie, to me, the person that gave me the squirrel is no more than the one that provided the lamb for Abraham. So what was he talking about? He was talking about Jehovah Jireh. And Jehovah Jireh resonated and said, what do you want? So when we are telling people apply the token to access the economy of God, we are simply telling the people, get hooked up in the supernatural economy. Who's the supernatural economy? Jehovah Jireh is the supernatural economy. It is a special office created to meet not only our atonement, but to meet our provision naturally and spiritually. And the prophet said, when you talk about him, he comes. So when they were talking about Jehovah Jireh, he came. And what was the question? What do you want? So when you talk about the when you talk about the spoken word that Paul, you are simply talking about Mount Moriah, James chapter 22, where the spoken word was manifested. And who manifested it? Jehovah Jireh. But this woman, let's follow this woman a little bit. This woman, there was one time she wanted to give her offering, her contribution to the building of the church. Then she wanted to give whatever she had. The prophet said, no, don't give it. Then the angel of the Lord told the prophet, no, let her do it. Then the prophet said, then I realized what was on the road coming for her. So she had a seal in the right hand, which was her works. She was a giver. She used to make the wine for the church, for the Lord's table for the church. Then the seal in the forehead was also being seen in her works. Now she's coming with a revelation. She's telling Brother Branham that is nothing but the truth. Then we have a deacon by the name Tony Zappo. Tony Zappo has actually eaten the squirrel. You know, none of you have eaten the spoken word squirrel. Tony, yeah. Then these guys have eaten, these guys have eaten it. But Brother Branham is talking about the squirrel that would have become the seventh squirrel, because he had already created 3 in one place, and he created 3 in another place. Came out and the prophet shot it. When he shot it, it was hid in the back of a tree. The prophet never got it. He went home with the 6 squirrels, a revelation of 6 seals. But the 7th, represented in the squirrel, was hid. And it brought in question and answers. Brother Branham tells Brother Tony Zabel, after they have eaten the 6 or the 3 in this setting, he says, Brother Tony Zabel, can you pray? Then Tony Zabel prays and says, God, if what Brother Branham is saying is true, may we go tomorrow and find the squirrel. So it was like question and answers, because question and answers comes between the 6th seal and the 7th seal. It's question and answers. You're not really sure. But later on, the prophet comes up in the morning. Tony Zabel gives him a knife to go and take the tree where the 4th squirrel was hiding. At 11 in the morning, the prophet uncovers the tree and brings out a squirrel that had been killed the previous evening. So between the time it was killed to the time it's uncovered is a space of time. Between the time the seventh seal was revealed to the time it's fully understood to us, there is a space of time. Question and answers. Now, sorry, I'm preaching there. That one small, in a small way was a sermon. So we are noticing something here, that the devil does not have an economy to offer the bride. No, he doesn't have. He copied from our way of running the affair. The first one that brought that intelligence was Joseph. And Joseph got it in the prison. He was a gifted man. When he got the garment when he was 17 years, that was 10:7 as it were. When he was given the garment helped him to open a dimension. Then he could now go to the other universe and get information. Then the same wisdom is growing in this young man. He begins his ministry when he's 30 years. When he's in 30 years, he has got a vision on how to purchase all the people using the grains, using the sea to bring these people under the feet of Pharaoh. And then he's destroying the money. The money is no longer going to be relevant. The paper money, the coins, nothing. Because there is no more money. You realize even the money failed even before the lands, and money failed way before. Could this be a repeat? Well, I'm wondering. I'm looking at this and I'm wondering what could be happening. Well, if the moderator would give me some time, I would say something else here. I don't know. But I don't want to carry the whole show, man. You guys have ways of responding to, also talking, and because it wasn't a service, If the moderator would have some time, maybe I would say something that will give you to think about it. And then a quotation in the message, Invasion of the United States. It's a very interesting thing that I've been following very closely. That everything on earth is recorded in the Bible. Everything is recorded in the Bible. I don't know what the moderator thinks. What does he think? The moderator back on the other side. Is he going to give me some time or someone has to respond?
You have the time, Godinho.
Okay. So I want to, maybe you need to, or you have your Bible in 1 Kings chapter 21. It's a very interesting part. I'm one of the students of the books of Kings, and I think, to be honest with you, brother, Pastor Vina handed the keys. In his preaching, he handed the keys, and I picked them. So I've been able to open some of these areas, and he did a very good thing here. Pastor Vina sort of opened to me the book of Kings, 1 King and 2 Kings, and then I got something that was very interesting. So I went back to the message called Invasion of United States. Invasion of United States, when I believed the message a long time, I used to think, and I was right, I used to think it's talking about the literal invasion where America will die with an atomic bomb, which that one, of course, is true. But the subject matter of Brother Branham in America, he was actually talking about how the demon power had invaded the country. And you people, if you are very keen, you realize Brother Branham, when he was preaching the invasion of United States, he went literally to Zedekiah, a false prophet, that he came to Ahab after Ahab had actually fought 2 battles. I don't know if you look at 1 Kings chapter 21 says, and it came to pass after these things that Naboth, the Jezreelite, had a vineyard. Now, before we go to the vineyard, let's go back. I wanted 1 Kings chapter 20. And Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, gathered all his hosts together, and there were 32 kings with him, and horses and chariots, and he went up and besieged Samaria and warred against it. We are talking about 32 countries. This is a super alliance. And there is no place in the Bible where so many kings, so many countries came together to fight. It can only be likened to World War I or World War II. Of course, this was actually World War I, already acted out in the book of Kings. And he sent a messenger to Ahab, king of Israel, into the city and said unto him, thus saith Ben-Hadad, the silver and thy gold is mine, thy wives also and thy children, even the goodless are mine. The king of Israel answered and said, my lord, O king, according to thy saying, I am thine and all thy house. If you go down there, you realize then there was a prophet that was sent. Verse 13. And behold, there came a prophet unto Ahab, king of Israel, saying, thus saith the Lord, hast thou seen all this great multitude? Behold, I will deliver it into thine hands this day, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. So we are seeing the king of Israel defeating 32 nations. That was, brothers, that was World War I. And who took the glory after World War I? America took the glory. Because America, according to the prophet, America was who? America is Ahab. So Ahab is actually winning. But as we continue with the scriptures, you will find Jezebel is now joining in. Then we come to verse 22. Verse 22 is another war. This war, Ahab has won. 32 countries Ahab has won. A type of America today. Then verse 22 says, and the prophet came to the king of Israel and said to him, go strengthen thyself and mark, see what thou dost, for at the return of the year, the king of Syria will come up against thee. Now, I want to bring in something here. The Second World War is where America made the greatest mistake. Because here is where Ahab also made the greatest mistakes. If you read Invasion of the United States, Brother Branham talks about why the mistake America did by crossing over to the side of Russia. Brother Branham says America should have joined the Russians in that war. God was determined that time to destroy Russia. But with the help of America, Russia survived. And how did they survive? They are surviving because they are going to destroy America. I want you can put it down, paragraph 97 of the Invasion of the United States. Brother Branham is bringing a picture here that I can only pin it. I don't know how I discovered this. I discovered when Ahab was supposed to kill Ben-Hadad. You know he spared Ben-Hadad. If you read from verse 22 going downward, he spared Ben-Hadad. And Ben-Hadad had his KGB. Andrew is looking at me. He had his spies positionally put in a place to come and collect secrets from Ahab and use the same secrets to kill Ahab. America is going to be destroyed by the same secrets. They did not, they allowed the Russians to come in. Because during World War I and World War II, you know, many people came to the United States and there was an exchange. Before Cold War came in, America was the ally in a way of Russia. And that's the mistake they made. Let me just read something for you here. The prophet is saying, the prophet is, verse 96, paragraph 96 says, and how that this great man went down there under excitement, he joined himself with the lukewarms. He is talking about Jehoshaphat and Ahab because that was the subject matter. And he says, with the borderlands and thought he was doing something great. Thought that God was blessing him and not realizing that right then he was bringing in all this group with him. What? Our little group of Judah up there would come down and join ourselves with the great bands of Israel. What a mighty people we will be. 97 says, there you are. And that is the very line of deceit the devil is using right now to bring in the Antichrist, just as certain as I'm standing on this. We'll unite our efforts together. We can't do that. How can two work together except they be agreed? This United States making the same same experience and the same mistake. When it united with Russia, back yonder, at that time, there was just about ready to have a war and bound ourselves together with Russia. And you see what we got, don't you? They got our airplanes and all our secrets and our atomic bombs and everything laying over there to blow it back at us. Same things goes spiritual. If in other place he says, America shouldn't have done what they did. And this is the same thing, brothers, Ahab is also doing here. if we could just read very fast, it says, maybe let me just read very fast. Verse 20, verse 30 says, but the rest fled to Aphek into the city. And there was a war fell upon 27,000 of the men that were left. And Ben-Hadad fled and came into the city, into an inner chamber. There is already victory on the side of Ahab. But Ben-Hadad is going to escape, and Ahab is going to make a mistake of sparing him. And his servant said unto him, behold now, we have heard that the kings
We
of the
can't hear you,
house...
Pastor.
Are you there? Hello? Are you there, man?
Yes, we are there. We can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. It says, now behold, we have heard that the kings of the house of Israel are merciful king. Let us, I pray thee, put sackcloth and loins and ropes upon our heads, and go to the king of Israel, peradventure he will save thy life. So they gathered sackcloth on their loins and put on ropes on their heads. And he came to the king of Israel and said, thy servant Ben-Hadad has said, I pray thee, let me live. And he said, is he yet alive? He is my brother. They disguised themselves and came and asked for mercy. But they were coming there for information. I want you to watch verse 33 is where the key is. That verse says, now the men did diligently observe whether anything would come from him, and did hastily catch it. Guys, I think we are right there. Now the men did diligently observe whether anything would come upon him, and did hastily catch it. And they say, thy brother Ben-Hadad. Then he said, go ye bring him. Then Ben-Hadad came forth to him, and he caused him to come up into the chariot. And Ben-Hadad said unto him, the cities which my father took from thy father I will restore, and thou shalt make streets for thee in Damascus, and my father made Samaria. Then said Ahab, I will send thee away with this covenant. So he made a covenant with him and sent him away. This is the mistake Ahab is going to make, and is going to be destroyed. And that's the same thing the prophet is saying. This is the mistake also America did. Verse 35. And a certain man of the son of the prophet said unto a neighbor in the word of the Lord, smite me, I pray thee. And the man refused to smite him. He is now symbolizing exactly what Ahab on this man that is going to show how Ahab is going to die. Then said he unto him, because thou hast not obeyed the voice of the Lord, behold, as soon as thou art departed from me, a lion shall slay thee. And as soon as he was departed from him, a lion found him and slew him. When you are dealing with the animals, you have to know who is this lion coming up here. Then he found another man and said, smite me, I pray thee. And this was a prophet. And the man smote him so that he smote him, he wounded him. So the prophet departed and waited for the king by the way, and disguised himself with ashes upon his face. And as the king passed by, he cried unto the king, and he said, thy servant went out into the midst of the battle. And behold, a man turned aside and brought a man unto me, and said, keep this man, if any means he be missing, then shall thy life be for his life, or else thou shalt pay a talent of silver. As the servant was busy here and there, he was gone. And the king of Israel so shall thy judgment be. Thyself has decided it. Look at it. And he hastened